The Wood Whisperer is sponsored by Powermatic, the gold standard since 1921.
Hi, I'm Steve Cromer, Head of Product Development at Rockler, and I'd like to show you some of the new products we're introducing this year at AWFS. I want to start out with our new taper jig. Traditionally a taper jig is two pieces that are hinged and you have to hold the jig against the fence, you have to hold the workpiece against the jig, and it's rather dangerous. We came up with a new jig that rides in the table saw miter gauge. It has a miter bar that rides in the gauge so that you don't have to hold it against the fence. We've added some features that make it even more user-friendly. We have self-adhesive abrasive strips that hold the workpiece to the jig, but also helps hold the fence to the table, so everything's locked in place. We have a newly designed hold down to hold the workpiece. It's wider and it has rubber feet on both ends to securely grab the workpiece. We have also added a tape measure on both ends to set the angle to what you want. And then we have a unique set of nicks that are in the platform, and each one indicates a 1 degree shift. So on one end, if you move it over 4 marks, and on this end you move it over 6, the difference is 2, so you have a 2 degree taper. The next jig I want to show you is our box joint jig. This is a jig for cutting boxes on a router table, which is a real simple joint but very decorative. The jig is very easy to set up. It locks in place in the miter track on a router table. It comes with 3 different indexing keys. It has a 1/4 inch key, a 3/8 key, and a 1/2 inch key. These are interchangeable. And to set it up, we use a brass setup bar, and the reason we use these, they're machined to within 5/1000ths of an inch, and the keys are also machined within 5/1000ths of an inch. And one of the keys in doing box joints is that the bit, the space between the bit and the key, all 3 have to be exactly the same diameter or distance. So this gives us assurance that it's absolutely perfectly set up. The jig can do a 1/4 inch, 3/8, and a 1/2 inch dovetails and up to 3/4 inch thick stock. Okay? Well, there's one other feature of this that we designed in that's really nice. It comes with a sled. It's pre-drilled for a sacrificial fence, which we highly recommend. But the way we designed the sled, it actually has a stop. And what it does is it stops so the bit will not exit out the back of the fence. So if you're kind of asleep at the wheel, you come through, you could actually run into the bit. Well, this won't allow you to go that far, so you don't have to worry about that. So that was a feature we did design in. The next item I'd like to show you is called a bench cookie. And the bench cookie is really a product we designed just out of necessity. Whenever we're working on a piece of workpiece on the bench, sometimes we use dogs on a vise or bench dogs in the bench, and other times we just use a clamp, but they're always in the way or not in the right place. They don't fit the workpiece perfectly. And then we also, if we just have it, even if we have it clamped, oftentimes the bearing on a router bit will be below the surface, and so you can't route it there, so you've got that problem. So we came up with a product called bench cookies. And what they do is they lift the product, they grip the product, and they protect it. And it lifts it up off of the surface, so if you have a router bit, you can have the bearing go below the surface. It's very secure. The product won't slip. And another nice feature of the bench cookie is if you're sanding a workpiece and you have one surface that is already finished, but you need to work on the other side, you can flip it over and you won't mar it. If you do that on a workbench, inevitably you'll mar the surface. So it's a great feature there. I want to show you kind of how much grip the bench cookies have. I just have a piece of poplar here and just have four bench cookies, and I've got a 80 grit belt on my belt sander, and all I've done is just set the board on the bench cookies. So it really does grip the workpiece.
Hello, I'm Gary Haynes with Tenru America, here to talk about some of the new offerings we have for our trim saw applications. We have new Festool offerings that we've come out with recently in 160 millimeter and 210 millimeter versions. The 160s are for the Type 55 saws, and the 210 millimeter versions are for the Type 75 products. I'm going to show you a little bit about both of these today. In the 160 series that we have, these all feature the same exact 20 millimeter arbor that the Festool blades require. They also have the same identical kerf, which is also important because of the riving knife that's used on that saw is of that dimension. It needs to be maintained. What we feature on these, if you'll notice, there is a different appearance to these. We do feature our noise reduction technology, which is our laser cut bodies that are backfilled with a resin compound, which is flexible, and that allows for increased dampening and vibration control, as well as we also have a black true Teflon coating on this, which is DuPont PTFE. It's black because it is a tooling grade color, and this is designed to last for the life of the blade. These blades also feature very sharp tips. Most of them feature our shear face grind, which is an alternate top, alternate face grind, and that particular blade is designed primarily to replace the Festool grinds, which typically are ATB series. So you do get a sharper edge, much more designed for sheet good cutting, which is primarily what these are for, or for door bottoms a lot of times. We offer them different sizes and tooth configurations depending upon for ripping purposes as well as for finish cut applications. 210 millimeter versions that we do also feature the exact same size and kerf as we have on the Type 55 models, and these also feature the larger 30 mil bore, which is required for the larger size saws in the Type 75 series. Again, various tooth counts and configurations based for ripping applications and or for finish cut applications. This is another offering from Tenru, which is new for us. We've recently expanded our silencer series to go in the 10-inch and 12-inch categories. For several years, we've produced this blade in limited sizes, and we've expanded those due to customer demand. In the 10-inch offerings, we now do a 1040, a 1060, and a 1080, as well as the 1072, which we've done for some time now. And in the 12-inch offerings, we've gone to a 1240, a 1260, a 1280, and a 12100, and we've done the 12100 for some time as well. These are a very economical product. They feature the same shear face grind like we feature in our higher level Miter Pro series blades, as well as our patented shear face technology that we use for the grind on this. This also features the same type of noise reduction technology that we feature in our higher level blades in a little bit different execution, but we still have the patented laser cut bodies backfilled with a resin compound, which is flexible to allow for noise reduction, which really does a fantastic job of keeping the blade very quiet and, again, crisp, straight edges, which people are always looking for. So the new silencers from Tenru have really become quite a hit.
Hi, my name is Landon Worthington, and this is the Gorilla Gripper. What this is a hand tool for carrying any kind of sheet goods, whether it's drywall, plywood, melamine, MDF, any kind of heavy, unwieldy sheets. What it does is it uses the weight of the material to grip and hold onto the material, giving you a sturdy handle to lift it. This is a little example. Now this sheet weighs 50 pounds because we weighted it down so that it would be more like a full sheet of plywood. Let me give you an example. The way this works is it grips the material from the top so that when you're lifting, you can lift with your legs and a straight back using virtually no upper body strength. So taking a 50 pound sheet and lifting it with a straight back, walking with a full field of vision, you're not ducking through doorways, and it's just as easy to set it back down. It comes off that simply. It's made of aircraft aluminum and has a lifetime guarantee, and weighs only about 2.5 pounds, so it's really not too hard to clip it right on your tool belt. And so that's basically it. What it does is it makes a really difficult job much easier and a lot safer. You're going to put your chiropractor out of business.
Hello, Jason McNeil here, live in the Dewalt booth at AWFS show in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're out here in Las Vegas unveiling a new product we're going to have on the market later this year from Dewalt. It's a new battery pack, a new battery to go in our 18-volt Dewalt battery family lineup, and this is compact lithium ion. So it's going to be a smaller, lightweight battery than our other lithium ion battery. Here's a lithium ion battery that most customers have come to know and love. It's about 2 years old. This one's going to be about a pound, whereas this one's about 1.5 pounds. And this one's going to be about half the runtime of this. So this is for all the woodworkers out there who really put a benefit or a value on ergonomics, the balance, the lightweight nature of tools. They're in their shop all day long, they're in the cabinet install, and they have access to power or a charger. So runtime's not their number one priority, ergonomics is. So you couple this best-in-class battery from a weight perspective and performance perspective with our best-in-class impact driver, you have quite a good tool for fastening product. We also have a drill, a half-inch drill, which is on the market today. We're going to be coupling our new battery with this drill as well. So again, provide best-in-class weight and performance. 2 units will come in a combination kit that we're highlighting here at the show. And this kit will retail for right around $279. Will be on the market in October. So when you're out at retail shopping for your woodworking tools, don't forget about the new Dewalt 18-volt compact lithium-ion batteries.
What this system is going to do for you is allow the normal woodworker to make beaded face frames. There are other methods out there for making beaded face frames. Some are very expensive, others are costly and or tedious and time-consuming. So what we've always tried to do at Kreg is take the time-consuming, tedious things and make them simple and affordable. So this beaded face frame system is no exception. What we're going to do here is we're going to set this jig up to make the standard beaded face frame. So we're going to make a couple of cuts here. Our first cut is going to be our top rail cut. The center of the bit is going to be 3/4 of an inch off the edge. So we're going to set our stop at 3/4 of an inch and make our cuts here. So that's going to complete our end cut. Next thing we need to do would be do a center rail cut here. We're going to move our stop We're going to take this all in one pass here. Okay, that's all there is to making your stiles. Next thing we need to do is take our rail and make it fit into our cut. There we go. That's a perfect cut right there. So the last thing we need to do now is go ahead and put the bead on. Go ahead and put these together. Right there's a perfect beaded face frame joint.
My name is Mark Pennington. I'm the Director of Marketing at SawStop, and I'm here to talk to you today about the new professional cabinet saw that we've just now introduced. It will be available for sale in August. It's a 36-inch saw for $28.99 or a 52-inch saw for $29.99. It's a 3-horsepower, 220-volt cabinet saw that's ideal for hobbyists that don't want any compromises and also small cabinet shops or artisan furniture makers. There are a couple of new features on this saw that are new to our saw lineup. First off, we have a new quick release insert here, which allows you to get access to the blade and the guard and the ability to change between the riving knife and the blade guard without using any tools. You can see that I just lifted up with this quick release latch, and now I can get in and using our clamping mechanism. Those of you that are current SawStop customers will recognize this is the same clamping mechanism that you currently see on your industrial saw and also on our contractor saw. But the nice thing about it is that we've now reduced the need to have any sort of Allen wrench or hex wrench to get into a set screw. The other thing that's really notable about this saw is that through a combination of the dust shroud, which is down here And this new dust collecting blade guard, we call it a V-Stream blade guard, we're able to collect 99% of all dust that's created during a cut. And then we think that's a quantum leap in terms of the category of table saws in general. And brings table saws back up to the level of performance that you see with sanders and routers in terms of really comprehensive dust collection and products that actually have dust collection integrated into their design. The reason why we did this is we felt that after we'd solved the most dangerous issue about operating a table saw, which is cutting off your finger, the next most dangerous one is the dust that gets generated when you're operating the saw. So we really worked hard, and the secret behind this is that the blade, when it's spinning, generates very turbulent air. Turbulent air is very bad for dust collection because basically the air is going in all sorts of directions and the dust can go anywhere the air goes. What we've done is, with special aerodynamic engineering, we have baffles inside in the dust shroud. We're able to organize the air and turn it into a jet stream, and that launches the air out of the saw. We can do this with extremely low levels of dust collection, as low as 120 CFM for a shop vac. So when you hook it up to, say, a 650 CFM Oneida, 1.5 horsepower, or something like that, you're really cleaning out that entire system and getting very comprehensive dust collection. So the dust stays contained and doesn't go into your lungs, and it's, you know, who wants to clean up dust at the end of the day anyway?